Hi everyone, and welcome back to my 2024 updated desk setup. I know it's been a couple of years since I've last showed you my desk setup. I've made some big changes as well as some small minor tweaks that I think really adds to my productivity with the setup. So yeah, let's dive right into it and let me show you what I have. Let's start with the desk. I'm using the IKEA mouse kit tabletop paired with a prime cable sit and stand desk that I've had for the last 2 years. So in my opinion, the IKEA tabletop that I'm using now is a lot better than the one that I was using before. It's a lot more hard wearing and a much better quality. And for the price that I paid of $160 or so, I think that this desk has stood the test of time for sure. And I'm really happy with the purchase that I made. It works perfectly, it's electric, sit and stand. The motor does jam up from time to time, but because I have a preset on it, it's been great for me so far. And I'm gonna use it for as long as I can. So moving on to the monitors, I have a dual display setup in a T format, and my main monitor is the Samsung Viewfinity S5, which is a 34-inch monitor running at 100 Hertz, and it's a 2K panel. I really like this panel for what it is. I think for the price I paid for it, it's a really good deal. And while it not might be a 120 Hertz gaming monitor, it fits my needs just because I couldn't buy a gaming monitor from work. And so, the high refresh rate does make a difference in my opinion. The vertical monitor, on the other hand, is a 27-inch Bayou monitor that I also got from work. And to be honest, it's okay. It runs at 50 Hertz, and honestly, it's not gonna be winning any prizes for that. But I think for what it is, it works. It's a good secondary monitor, and I'm happy to have it. So as you can see, both of these monitors are not on their stands, and that's because I have both of them hooked up to a mount from Bayou. I've used a Bayou mount for around 2 years at this point, and honestly, I have no complaints. I fit multiple displays on them and they just work. The load is perfect. And once you tighten it up, it does not even move around at all. So as for my main peripherals, my keyboard of choice is my Keychron K2. It's a huge upgrade from the last Habit keyboard that I had. This keyboard is really well made with a metal base, and the sounds that come from it is really nice. It just goes clickety clackety, clickety clackety, and it's perfect. It's sublime. The backlighting is really great. You can flip through a bunch of options. There's RGB, there's just white light, as well as the option to not have any backlight. And it's bright enough where at night I can easily see it. And it makes it really easy to go from wired and wireless, and also to switch from Mac to Windows, which has been a great feature in my opinion. As for my mouse of choice, I still have my good old Razer Basilisk V2 mouse. It's a great little mouse. Honestly, if you have one device set up, it's perfect. It has multiple sensitivity levels and it just works. My only gripe with it is that you can't really switch from one device to another really quickly, and the Bluetooth does act a little bit finicky. And since I've lost the USB connector, it's been a little fidgety in my opinion, and that is probably the next time I'm gonna upgrade. So if you have any recommendations for what is a good mouse, let me know. Put it down in the comment section and I will probably listen to your opinions and maybe I'll review it, who knows. So powering my setup is this 2021 M1 MacBook Pro. It's my work computer which handles most of my daily workload, and I've been loving this. I switched from a Windows machine lately, and Macs are just better in every way. Be it the keyboard, be it the integration, or be it the trackpad. I love the way that this Mac integrates with the rest of the Apple devices in my home. So honestly, just for the sole purpose of that, I think it's worthwhile using. But for video editing and personal use, I still use my 2020 M1 MacBook Air. But compared to the M1 MacBook Pro, you can definitely tell the differences in power and the fact that the M1 Pro chip is a year older than the M1 chip. But honestly, I can't complain with either of them, and I think they're both great devices. I also have a client device with me usually just because of the nature of my full-time job, and I can't really show that just because it's kind of confidential, so sorry. I also have my PS5 hooked up to this setup, so when I'm not working, I'll usually grind FIFA or another story mode game. I've played the new Spider-Man game, and honestly, I'll dabble into some Warzone from time to time as well with my friends. The PS5 has been the newest addition to my setup. I've been loving every single moment of it. You can really tell the difference and how big of a step up it is from the PS4 for sure. The chair I have with me is the Herman Aeron chair, and this is one of the few big things that I've changed in my setup over the last couple of years. Having a chair that you can sit on for hours really does make a huge difference to your productivity. I don't know how we all got brainwashed into buying gaming chairs, but proper ergonomic chair is a lifesaver. For audio, my stereo speakers of choice is the Creative Pebble 2.0s, and for their size, they do honestly pack a punch. And they're priced really well as well for, I think, 30 bucks or something like that. The audio is way better than any monitor or even my 2021 MacBook Pro, and it does make a difference. And because I live alone, I usually do not have any headphones that I use. When I'm outside, I'll use my AirPods Pros or my Sony XM4s. But for when I'm home and for this setup, the Creative Pebbles work, they're magic, and they're perfect. There are a couple of other small things that I've added to my setup in the recent times. The first one is my Logitech Webcam, which makes a big difference when you're doing video calls, and instead of looking face to face at the person, you're looking to your left because you're looking at your laptop screen. And I think the addition of a webcam is great. It instantly makes the communication between you and the other person way better. Another thing that I added is the little monitor lamp that you're seeing on top of the screen. I think it makes a big difference, especially at night, because it doesn't leave any shadows, and at the same time, it'll illuminate my entire desk so I know where I'm hitting my keyboard. Even though my keyboard does have a backlight, it still helps. I think it also helps with just glare because it eliminates all glares because it's top down as opposed to coming from an angle against your monitor. And finally, to keep things tidy, I've added a hub to my entire setup. So all the cables are routed through the hub, which means that I only have to use 1 or 2 cables that go into my computer. And that makes switching devices a lot easier. And this is something that I've come to appreciate. And I didn't know how much I needed a hub until I actually tried it out. And I don't think I can go back now. In terms of cable management, everything goes through the hub and all the wires are stuck to the bottom of the tabletop. And honestly, it's not perfect, but I'm happy with how it turns out because there's only one single cable that goes down to the plug. And there you have it. That is my 2024 desktop setup. All the gear that I've used is in the description box below if you're interested. They are affiliate links, so I get a small kickback, helps to grow the channel, and is really appreciated if you use it. Other than that, I hope you like this video. Please leave a comment down below as to what mouse I should get, and maybe I'll even review it. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.